find in a region thinking on only activities that are working in that region. There is more expounding of ideas of maybe we can do. We can also do pixels as much as I am in Eastern, or we can do pixels as much as I'm in Trans Nzoia. We can do for us to diversify in terms of the business. The fourth one is soil degradation and soil erosion. We all know what soil erosion does to our soils. Keep on doing one crop, one place, loses nutrients. At some point you realize instead of the crop yield going up, it keeps on going down. Point number 5, we also looked at the food insecurity. Once we have a challenge in production, we already have a problem in food security. And for number 6, we also looked at the livestock health challenge from water scarcity and heat, and more so, at some point when you're not providing your cow enough water, we all know that we need to provide adequate water or provision of water at libitum. Once you are not able to do that, you're subjecting your cow into stress. So, if you have another impact of climate change, you can write it down when you finish with what others. At here, we were trying to come up with a matrix risk so that you can be in a position to see which one gives us, it puts us at more risk position than the other. And here, we are looking in terms of 3 areas. In terms of livelihood, how does it impact us, and the priority, right? And when I say high, it means the impact is severe, right? When I say medium, I mean the impact is moderate. And when I say high, I mean the impact is beyond the level and is in a position to cause harm to the business. So, this number 1, we are looking at the cloud. How does it affect the livelihood? We say it is very high, right? What is their impact? It is severe. What is the priority? It is critical, right? And for flooding, we talked about at livelihood it is medium, because this is something that you can be in a position to manage that has an impact, but its impact is very high. And then the priority is also high. And then for the input price hikes, in the livelihood, it affects in a very high rate. And then its impact is moderate. And then the priority is also high. Then for market volatility, the livelihood impact is medium, and its impact is moderate, and then priority is medium. For pest outbreaks, livelihood is high, impact is severe, and then priority is critical. And lastly, the poor record keeping, the livelihood is medium, impact is moderate, and priority is medium. We also came and looked at the mitigation, since we're also working at the preparedness. How are we going to address this? We came and looked at the mitigation and preparedness strategies in all the 4 lists that we were working on. Number 1 was operational risk. What are the preparedness actions that we as youths can be in a position to go and try and address them? Number 1 is to come up with a training schedule and do some trainings for us to address the skills issue. And then another one is bringing the digitization and integrated systems. We were talking about lack of the implements, equipment, something like that. It becomes very easy when we're going to digitize. Also, soften the work. Then the next thing is pest and disease management.
they divide the questions that you are doing. To ensure we have, so that by the time we finish this assignment, kila mtu atakuwa amefanya presentation. Yes, so that is the aim. Yes, that is the aim. You want to have each and every person at least one presentation. At least one. So in this assignment, it is the only assignment we have where we will ensure at least everybody between yesterday and today has done a presentation. Then, yeah, so you can go ahead and make it a bit fast.
Good morning. From the fourth portion, which is the mitigation and preparedness strategies for the risk assessment and climate changes for our youth, as the task
We have to assess risk affecting young business enterprises.
for the mitigation measures, we have operational, financial, and market and climate mitigations. The first one is operational. The operational one for our youth, we have to train them regularly. Most of the youth, they lack training. For us as youth enterprise coaches,
things
we
like
training regularly.
second one is digitization. Pricing in terms of single market, and the third is intermediate management. Here we all about enterprises for the ground or I have
expose measures to our youth so that we can be able to tackle the risks in this agribusiness. Thank you.
Wow. We have decided to be appreciate each other like that. Huh? No. Another question. The group that is going next. Did we learn something from that? The whole idea of this discussion here is to be able to open our minds to understand what we find on the ground. Are we together? So let's be very open-minded. Let's learn from the different groups. Because if we go around, these are the kind of things that we are going to yes. Okay, come, just come.
So I have some few reactions. That's what questions. And then I did that one in the presentation line. Okay, so like the heading was risk. So from the definition, a risk is a potential event that may happen and negatively affect the farm. That's now we're talking about future. So, and we need to define a problem. So a problem, it's an issue or an desirable situation that already exists. So in your case, we have operational. So I was seeking clarification. So are these problems or risk? Because what I understand is a problem is what greater a risk.
Now, one thing I need to realize is that different groups are handling different. So their question is actually the first question he was not asking about. So yours, what they're asking, what he's asking is different. The structure is different. So I don't know whether that's the way you're not.
They were supposed to identify the operational, financial, payment ready established. They were already there, they were already mentioned. So it just
Okay, like I had an example. Like when there's a problem, an existing one, like lack of capital. That's a problem. So what the risk that is being created by such a problem. So if like a problem is unable to.
It's under financial.
So that's an additional point for us. Yeah, so what I wanted it was for them to say this results to this.
What, in short, what we are doing, for instance, when we are talking about operational risk, these are things that we do that are going to affect the business, right? And for us to expound well, we came up with at least a few of the operational risks, not all of them. We cannot exhaust all of them. Maybe the only thing that we forgot to write here is
Every question here is that different groups are handling different structure of business. Are we together? Yeah. So from the outset, this group they were supposed to talk about.
Nataka kutest nione how I can connect it.
So different groups are handling
ile ya tatu alafu sio moja, mbili, tatu, funga.
Okay, please, let's arrange them the way they should follow, so that when it's your turn, you just put your name. And then now, when it gets to your turn, this one, then you can just stand next to them, so that we are going to so let's arrange them the way infrastructure costs. To be able to build like maybe a cooling plant, to have backup generators at the cooling plant, that is a budget of over 3 million. So the farmers and also the local vendors, they don't have the funds to build the high infrastructure that may and is needed in order to support such kind of production. Another thing is lack of processing knowledge. So if they even wanted, if the production of milk was high, if the production of meat or something in that nature was needed,
knowledge about it is limited. So that is a huge cause of all the problems. Yeah, that's it. My colleague will do the rest.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Lucy, and I will be taking it from number 4. So number 4 is propose an innovative and business solution. The came up with 3 centralized hub evaluation and for the one thing. Centralized hub is a processing and a milk collection unit where the farmers take their milk, and then it is taken from there. And then we have a value addition. Some examples are the yogurt making. She has told us milk. Also, they have small scale butter, ghee, and what else? Cream. The cream that you use in your greens. Some of you know it. I'm from Central Kenya. So another one is called a banking. We have hay and molasses. So number 5 was very possible from ethical and their unique advantage. So many the competitors are brokers, and they are the private informal milk brokers. What we have talked about, they boil the milk, they remove the cream, and they add some synthetic products, tampering with the purity. Our unique advantage is quality control and trust. Then there was extension ecosystem. You deploy vet experts. These ones are the ones that providing cathodics, veterinary services, and all that. So in conclusion, we choose Mogosho specifically as our case study of a semi-arid place to highlight how a community in such a place can use cooperative innovation and validation to completely cut out middlemen. And this is where the middlemen come in. Oh, any additions from the group? Any additions from the group? You presented what you are saying. Yes. You presented what you are saying. Any reaction from the rest? Any reaction from the rest? Yes. So what we are trying to bring out here is sometimes you may find yourself having to avocado discussions at all, you know. What is the enterprise, you know? What is the problem? A business is about providing a solution for a problem. Providing a solution for a problem. So sometimes, you know, sometimes businesses start and the problem is not very clear. It's a struggle. So they need to really understand what is the problem or what is the business opportunity. So that is what they are doing. So that is what we are trying to bring out in this particular study. So we were able to see the problem. They are able to also they should also be able to identify who are the customers. You know, customer segmentation. We are going to see a lot more of that when we are doing the business model canvas.
and what are the root causes. Okay, so as a business person, they need to be able to identify that, needs to be very clear, and then come up with innovative solutions. Like we have said, with the problem, a solution needs to be there. If it is innovative, even better, so that it's not just the kawaida solution that everyone is providing to them. Then they look at the reliability, and we also need to look at the competitors, because how do you remain competitive in a very competitive space, or how do you bring out a competitive advantage so that customers will prefer to buy from you than from the others? Yeah? So that is what the unique advantage that they are trying to bring out here. Yeah, and I think they did well. Senior? Yes. Yeah, so when we are engaging with these enterprises, please make sure that they understand really what the problem there is, or even really whether there is a problem. Because sometimes, people would start enterprises out of even emotive, just out of, someone imagines I can start this, business and probably it is something interesting, but there needs to be a problem, and it needs to be a big problem so that the enterprise is sustainable. The customers need to be known. Competitors, you need to make sure that you understand also how they are operating. So, very good. Who are appreciating this group? This is group number 1, eh? So who's appreciating group number 1? Who are next? They should be ready here. So those who are presenting, please be here, ready.
Okay, so we take them using all the types of flap. Tutawapatia wako tatu, alafu tuwapatie watatu tatu, alafu tuwafanyie kama bongo.
Sawa. Try index ya kwanza. Safi. Nishika, si ndio? Sasa tuwapatie sasa yao wazuri. Sasa mpashe kwa moto. Haya tuanze. Sawa.
Thank you.
Good morning. We were tackling a question on climate smart productivity and resource efficiency. And the topics were climate smart agribusiness and entrepreneurship, resource efficiency, and productivity improvement. The first question is develop a climate smart agribusiness model that promotes sustainability and efficient use of resources. So the first question.
Pardon us, we didn't write the questions, but we're going to read the question as we give the responses. So identify a climate smart agribusiness practice. We looked at the 3 of them, that is organic composting, green energy, that is on solar, then we have minimum tillage. Then we tackled the first question, the first response, that is organic composting. So the whole thing here will be on organic composting. And organic composting, we're just looking on usage of the available materials we have at home, such as kitchen remains to make nutrients for our plants, and also avoid the usage of the synthetic fertilizers. So we're now explaining on how organic composting will improve productivity. And that is tackled here on the second part. And then the first one we have water retention. And the use of organic composite will help the water retention on our plants, because the organic matter that is used will help on the retention of moisture in the soil. And also, the material that is used is very organic, so the soil will also be very compact, in that the water will not evaporate. So on the second part, we have reduces soil erosion, in that here the material that is used will also be incorporated in the soil. And again, we are not like having the water is retained in the soil, so we will not have the water being eroding the soil. That is how we handle it. And also increases soil fertility. We are using this organic matter to improve the fertility of our soil. So as it is incorporated in the soil, we are also boosting on the fertility. And once our soil is very fertile, of course we'll have more yields from our produce. And then the third part is asking, demonstrate effective use of water, energy, costs, labor, or inputs. So on the part that we are handling, the effective use of water, or how is organic composite demonstrating the effective use of water, we tackled it in the fact that the soil moisture is retained, and also the organic matter, as I said, is allowing more absorption of water in our plants. So on the energy, we tackled it in the fact that this is a natural process or a biological process compared to the production of synthetic fertilizers. So the process is just natural and less energy is used. We are just having the matter put in one place and it will decompose with time. So the energy is low. And then we also tackled the part of energy on the transportation energy cost. So compared to the transportation energy cost for the synthetic fertilizers, we saw that since organic composting is just using the natural or the local materials available at our home, the energy parts of the transportation is lower. Then on the part of cost, we are seeing that this is just the waste that we get maybe from the kitchen, from the leaves, and also maybe from the grass. So the cost is very minimum because these are just waste that we can get ready. And then on the part of labor, comparing the production of these composites, comparing it to that of the synthetic fertilizers, we saw that less time is spent on the production, and also this is just a waste being put in one place, so it's just a simple production activity compared to the synthetic one. And then on the inputs, we saw that this is just utilization of the organic waste materials, and again on that part we are also recycling the waste that is around our home, so the input is also very low. I will allow my colleague to tackle the fourth and the fifth question.
Thank you very much. Remember that we are handling organic composting, 100%, so it has been described the environmental and economic benefits. Yeah, the environmental benefits of organic composting, one thing is reduces pollution. It's because you find the CO2 is being conferred by this organic waste in the composition process. Therefore, it reduces what we call air pollution. We have water retention. For instance, when you use organic manure, or you do what we call mulching, you'll end up conserving water other than watering your plants in the next time. Number two, it reduces soil erosion. Yeah, because you are not applying water every time, you realize that the soil will not be good as a result of you using organic manure. First, better waste management, because these are the waste from our kitchen, crop residues. You realize that other than disposing them, we convert them to be manure and we use in our farms. And then for economic benefits, low production cost. Other than using synthetic fertilizers, spending a lot to purchase these fertilizers, just use the organic available materials in your farm to do the production. And then number two, it increases yield or farm profits. If, for instance, you are using organic, you are doing organic farming, you realize that you never spend much in production, and therefore you maximize the output. And then number three is job creation. For instance, you can convert these organic waste into manures and do the business of selling them. That's a job creation. And then question number 5 was, suggest technologies that support sustainability. 1, multi-technologies. Okay. Suggest technologies that support sustainability. We have multi-technologies. We have technologies that we will employ in mulching, right? And as a result of this, other than wasting all those crop residues, kitchen waste, we'll have to convert them to do mulching in our crops. And then irrigation, such as stream irrigation, solar irrigation, that's another technology. And then we have mechanized compost turners. We have this turner that will help you in composting process. It turns the waste and then it speeds up the rate of composting. And then crop rotation. You'll understand crop rotation. And then question number 6. Provide strategies for scaling the business. 1, will expand market linkages. For example, manure, selling manure from your farm, and also the produce from your farm. And then point number 2 is adoption of technology, such as turners, as I explained. And then we have what we call capacity building. And then also we have what we call value addition. You can do value addition in your composting by doing what we call semi-composting. And as a result, you'll get the product as a family, which is liquid fertilizer. Or semi-composting actually is a process of using atoms to turn the farm waste into high quality organic fertilizer. Unatumia atoms. When the atoms consume this way, wanaku. The food is rich in nutrients. Now the top, you can sell them in form of liquid fertilizer. And then we have a diagram here showing actually what we are doing. This is a plan from what we harvest. Nakula remains in capacity. We do what we call compost. And then what they decompose, it becomes organic fertilizer and we sell them into our farms to use them.
Great. I'm curious. Is this knowledge that you have or you decide?
We have.
I know it's a bit technical, you know, when it comes to agri. And what that is telling you is that even in as much as you are going to present yourself as YC, we need to have an idea, you know, of the kind of enterprises that they are in. So usiulize useme mimi yangu tu ni ile ya kukoch kwa biashara. Please, you'll be helping that enterprise by just doing a little research and you know, building onto that. Sawa. And if you can work with the technical people on ground, you can also make recommendations. Sawa. So let's be that